nice warm tea, we can feel stress-free. Soft voices and a lot of laughs. It's the Mundane Podcast.
Hey
God,
there.
we're so in sync.
Hey there. How's
Hey.
it going? My name is Chris, and I'm here with my beautiful friend Dave.
Hello.
And this is the Mundane Podcast, and this is our first full-length visual
Feature.
video episode. We're still coming to terms with kind of being visual. One of them, as you may have seen if you watched the video version of this podcast, was I was like, well, what's going to happen in the video when our amazing theme tune by Niall Murray plays?
Thank you, Niall.
And I was like, well, I could just show our logo made by the amazing Lauren Hand, like
Thank you, Lauren.
all of that. I could show that, and I was like, no, it needs to be more visual. So I thought, oh, what if me and Dave just do a little dance as the song plays? But obviously, that's edited in. So me and Dave had to approximate the song. So we had to dance to the song in our heads. And then I thought it would be quite a nice visual of us putting our headphones on to look like, the show is begun. So if you saw that on video, thank you. I hope that was fun. If not, just imagine two grown men dancing like silly little boys.
Yeah.
That was good fun. But no, so this is the Mundane Podcast for Chris and Dave, where every episode we're going to go through the kind of ins and outs of things that you may not have thought about as much, but things that are always around in your daily lives. And as always, I've got my beautiful friend Dave here, who lives far away from me, but every week we want to talk about this. So, Dave, today's episode, as always, I want you to guess what this is about.
Okay. I don't know why, but my gut's telling me to ask you this. It's a little bit niche to start with, but I'm going to go with it because of my gut. Is it to do with farming?
Farming is involved, yeah. I could say farming.
Wow.
So your gut is quite good.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing to
Yeah.
indicate that to me, but there you go. Fertiliser.
Not to do with fertilizer. It's something that is grown on a farm. So it's
Wheat.
it is not wheat.
Corn.
It's not good. You're just going to list things that are grown on a farm. It's not grown, as far as I know, on a British farm. And it's not something that you eat directly.
Right, so you don't eat it directly, so it's processed and turned into some sort
Not
of...
necessarily. This is difficult. It's something that's grown, and it's something that is often put in.
To food. What, like a condiment?
No, I don't know what you would call it. I don't actually know how you would describe it now that I think about it. I'm going to have to...
Is it something you put into food when you're cooking it? Is
Yeah,
it like an
it's
ingredient?
It's like
as
an
opposed to
ingredient. It's an ingredient.
Right.
I'll give you one more question.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give you one more
I'm not going
question.
to get it, am I? Okay.
Maybe. Okay, I could give you one more clue. You measure it with your heart when putting it into food. It's not one that you just... like people may have exact measurements, but 9 times out of 10, it's something you kind of just vibe-based.
Right, I thought you meant like you use your heart somehow.
You do use your heart.
I was like,
your heart is used.
cholesterol? I didn't think we grew cholesterol. You just do it on the fly. You just slap it in.
Yeah, it's an ingredient that like is
slap
often
it in
used.
there.
Is often used, but you will
Well, is it rapeseed? Is it oil?
not oil.
Because I
you
don't
measure
measure oil.
No,
well,
I
you
suppose,
can.
yeah.
You know, a lot of recipes will say 2 tablespoons of oil. What I do is I measure that by eye because I know what 2 tablespoons of oil looks like
Yeah.
in a pan because I've
That
done
is
it
true.
enough times.
I'll give you that, but to me, oil isn't an ingredient. Oil is
No.
a fat that you use.
It's a cooking
It's a cooking thing.
enabler.
It's a cooking enabler. Oil's just sitting there going, "You need to cook. Cook now. Why aren't you
Yeah.
cooking?" No, it's not that. It's an ingredient.
Okay, so we do eat it. You don't measure it. Salt?
No, isn't that a condiment? Doesn't salt?
Yeah,
It's a
but it's also an
flavouring.
ingredient. It's also an ingredient.
Yeah, okay, because salt does hit that line. I'm sure there are like chefs right now listening going, "Wow." Okay, no,
Soy.
It's not. What, you just put soy in?
Soy sauce? Yeah, I don't know.
Soy sauce. Once again, that's a condiment, Dave. It's not a condiment.
It's an ingredient too. It's literally last night.
No,
Soy sauce
okay.
was an
It's
ingredient in
something-
mine
it's
and Joy's
often
dinner.
It's often used. But soy sauce is grown on a farm, Dave. I suppose soy is.
Soy is.
No,
soya
but it's
beans.
not processed. Remember, we said it was not
Right.
processed.
It's the direct product of it.
You just take the product.
Oh, it's going to be a herb, isn't it?
It's not a herb.
It's not a herb.
It's something that there is specific tools to do stuff with it. To maybe
garlic.
Garlic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we can grow garlic in this country.
Oh, can you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
my brother's got wild garlic growing at the end of his garden.
Oh, wow.
Which you can also eat, wild garlic.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well,
lovely.
so one of the reasons why was because some of our sources today, as always, I use multiple sources all over the internet. It's been especially difficult in the modern age to try and avoid the AI-written bad stuff that's just not good or interesting. But I found some glorious stuff today. So our sources today, garlicworld.com.
Garlic World. Nice.
And Gilroy Garlic.
Gilroy Garlic.
So Gilroy Garlic, hold on, I've got the description of Gilroy Garlic here, which was a beautiful piece of writing. Located just south of the San Francisco Bay Area, Gilroy is a garlic lover's paradise and the garlic capital of the world. Gilroy is home to the world-famous Gilroy Garlic Festival every summer, where thousands visit to experience the variety of garlic foods and entertainment. Buy garlic and be sure to try our Gilroy garlic recipes. Visit our Gilroy blog to learn about the history of garlic, how to store garlic, and the health benefits of garlic. We also sell garlic, they sell garlic basically. Although very worryingly, and on the website it says fresh garlic back in stock July 2023. And it goes, howdy, we'll be updating our website the week of July the 4th and shipping fresh garlic again near the end of July 2023. And then
I hope they're okay.
Yeah, me too. There's been no update, but the website's been running for nearly 3 years.
Can you order garlic from them?
No, it all says sold out. So
wow. If you're out there, Gilroy Garlics, and you want to sponsor us and just tell us you're okay.
Yeah, we want to know you're okay, to be honest. So they sell garlic like in these giant boxes by the pound. And then they also sell Gilroy Garlic gift boxes. Okay, so think about what would you want as a garlic gift?
I've got one definite item in mind already.
Tell me then, what's your definite... Is it garlic?
Yeah, it's one of those things... Well, I mean, garlic, yeah, okay, two definite items. But the other... And it better be nice garlic if I'm ordering it from a website, because I could just go to the shop and buy
that's
some
it.
garlic.
I think it sounds like, you know, they specialise in garlic.
And they can smoke it. Maybe you can get different options. Smoked garlic, large garlic, small garlic and such.
Okay.
Although you can choose those options in the supermarket too. So one of the storage things that you get for garlic, which I think usually have holes in the bottom, because apparently garlic can keep a lot longer if it's stored correctly. And I've thought somehow with every episode we've ever done, there has been deep thinking about it at some point in my life, and I have deeply thought about how I store my garlic before. And I don't have a proper thing. It's, you know, when you get little desserts in a dish, sometimes glass. These particular ones are china or, you know, pottery of some sort, and they just sit in a dish in my cupboard. And it seems to keep okay. But somebody a few years ago was posted on Facebook like, my garlic never keeps. How do I store garlic? What are you guys doing with your garlic to store it? I never really thought about it before.
But it's that perfect scenario, though, on Facebook where someone writes something where you're like, if you just Google it, maybe if you go... So Gilroy Garlic does have a web page on how to store garlic, which we'll get to.
My mum stores hers in a basket with the onions.
So the basics of storing garlic. The garlic is not like most vegetables. Oh, it's a I suppose technically it would be a vegetable. It does not grow in cold temperatures. Garlic is best stored in a cool, dry and dark environment that has good airflow. Whole garlic bulbs can be stored in a cool 60 to 65 degrees. That's Fahrenheit.
That'd be Fahrenheit, yeah.
What's that in... yeah, because in Celsius that'd be
probably
melting.
A room temperature, I would guess. About 20 degrees or something, let's say.
Let's have a...
19 degrees, that's my guess.
It's about 15 to 18 degrees. 60 Fahrenheit is 15.6 degrees.
It's a bit cooler than the average.
That is a bit cooler
room
than the
temperature,
average.
yeah.
Yeah, so it does say a cool, dry place. So it didn't mean that it had sunglasses on.
I suspect my cupboard is cooler than the room.
Yeah,
because it's dark and it's away from the radiator.
A cupboard, pantry, or root cellar. Can you imagine if you had a root cellar? It's best to ensure proper ventilation and temperature. Avoid placing the garlic in a plastic baggie or an airtight container, as this can increase moisture and decrease airflow. Instead, use a ventilated container like a mesh bag. So basically, it's good to store it in room temperature, but ventilated so it doesn't kind of like you don't want a greenhouse effect.
So my little pot's probably all right, It's not got a lid, so there's a ventilation. But it explains the holes you get in proper garlic storage containers.
Yeah. So this is my favourite one on this website. What is the best way to store garlic to keep it fresh? The best way to store garlic to keep it fresh is to keep it in a cool, dry place away from potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes ruin everything, including themselves.
I like to think like potatoes are just like the pariah of the veg, and they'll just fight. They're just like the garlic and the potatoes. They don't get on.
Well, isn't there something with some fruits? Is it bananas? You don't want to store bananas with your other fruit.
Yeah, bananas release like a thing. So, fun fact for anybody at home, this has now become a cooking podcast. If you ever need to ripen your fruit, if you have like avocados or pears, if you have your bananas, is it still bunched? Yeah, if you have them still bunched, it releases a chemical that will ripen your food. But if you don't want that to happen, you can just take your bananas apart.
That just feels wrong, though. I want to keep them in the bunch.
Yeah.
There's something novel about taking one banana off your bunch. It's just, it's one step closer to walking up to the banana tree and taking your banana off the tree. Kind of like, you remember when years ago we made that video where I was walking around the shop and they had all the pictures of trees in the frozen section. I say it's to make people feel closer to nature, like they're getting their food fresh from the forest. Taking your banana off the bunch is like that. If you take them all apart, you're removing that aspect for me.
It feels like that with garlic as well, though, doesn't it? Like you're taking it. It's almost like if you store it just right, it's like, I've just picked this garlic up off the floor and I'm going to put it in to my thing. So okay. So I've just done a quick check as well. This is now just straight up Google, which is referring to the BBC. Banana bunch and potatoes, they release ethylene gas, which accelerates the breakdown of cell walls, converts starches to sugars, reduces acidity, and causes nearby produce to mature and spoil faster. Which, once again, I like the fact that we have a natural way to ripen things around if we want them to. Once again, if you have avocados, avocados seem to be one of those ingredients, one of those foods that will be like, not right, and then, right, I'm ready, and then now I'm dead. Now I'm brown and horrible.
So ethylene gas essentially ages fruit. Does that mean that if you lived around a lot of bananas, it would age you quicker?
Well, I think it's more. I don't think we have the same cell membranes externally as.
Probably not. But they do say that we're genetically quite closely related to a banana. Well, I say quite closely, like 1% makes a massive difference. And they say that it's probably a myth, isn't it?
Well, I just did a quick Google ethylene gas effects on humans. Short-term exposure causes irritation of the eye, skin and respiratory tract, as long as central nervous system. Long-term or chronic exposure is linked to cancers, including leukemia, lymphoma and breast cancer, as well as neurological damage, which I suppose in a way is an effect of aging. So, but it doesn't just age you. If you want to look a couple of years older, if you want to get into if you're under 18 and you want to get into a bar, I wouldn't recommend just sitting near some bananas.
Rubbing a bunch of bananas on your face.
Rubbing a bunch of bananas on your face to get older. Don't do that. I don't imagine it releases that much ethylene gas, but you definitely don't want that to happen. So all the way back, Dave, I did ask you, in a garlic gift set, what's a garlic gift set?
The storage container for the garlic, some nice garlic, preferably big garlic. I like big garlic.
It's
annoying when you get that tiny bit of garlic and you've got to peel it and chop it up.
It is so annoying. It's such a little faff. You have to especially.
I still do it. I'll still use them because I don't like to waste food, but it's a faff.
I find if you get into a flow, sometimes I'll probably waste more garlic than normal if I'm getting impatient cooking, because what I'll do is I'll kind of just get the bulb in. If it's like half a thing of garlic and I'm going to use all of it, I'll just cut it all, cut the end off instead of peeling it off one by one and stripping it. I'll just cut the end off the giant bulb.
Well, do you know I've got tips and techniques with garlic. I don't know if you want to save that for...
Let's save that towards the end. I think that'll be good to the end, because I also want to get to this garlic gift box. You're head of the Mundane Garlic Industries. The Mundane Garlic Gift Box, what does that contain?
I'm going to say that it's going to contain the storage pot, and it'll be a nice storage pot. It might say garlic on it. It might have some pictures of garlic. So it's a pot.
Cloves. What's this pot look like?
Have you ever got some blue cheese, or Stilton, if you're that way inclined to call it, in a china pot before? You seen those?
No, but I don't eat a lot of cheese.
Well, let's say it's about the same size as this mug. It could be a bit bigger, and it's got holes in the bottom, around the bottom.
Okay.
And a lid on the top that may also have a hole in to get that air flowing through. I think colour-wise, I'd probably go for cream. Not too far away from the colour of garlic, and I'd have garlic written on it in black in the Algerian font. And that's my perfect container. Also in the gift set, it'll be in a nice presentable box, maybe with some bits of paper kind of shavings there, brown paper shavings to protect the product, but also just to add a sense of quality. And then there'll be a clove of large standard garlic, organic. There'll be a clove of the same garlic but smoked garlic.
Oh, okay.
And then as a novel thing, some wild garlic as well, just so people can be like, oh, I'm going to try a bit of that.
Okay.
And then also there will be a little brochure with just a couple of little recipes that you can use the different garlics for, and a little bit about the garlic farm and their history.
Oh, okay. I like that. So
and also a novelty keyring.
Keyring.
Garlic on a keyring. Yeah, you've got to have a little bit of fun in there as well.
I like that. Okay, well,
that's my gift set.
I could definitely tell you that it's not. That's really nice. I like that gift set. Maybe we should one day when we get everything up and running, if we start making money from this, maybe we'll start doing a garlic gift set.
There's other products we've come up with as well, so we could have a real eclectic collection in our.
Yeah, we talked in our wallpaper episode. We talked about our mundane runners, our wallpaper. That'd be good. I like this. Anyway, okay, so this, Dave, I'm going to show you on the screen now. If you could just describe to the audience. I'm just going to read the description while you take this in. A garlic lover's dream. Garlic, and more garlic. The perfect gift for the foodie that loves decorative fresh garlic braids and the convenience of having a jar or two of garlic at hand. So there's lots of different sets, but almost all of them, it's just a garlic braid, which is in that netting kind of container that garlic is often in, and a jar of chopped garlic and a jar of crushed garlic. And then some of the kind of more advanced ones may have a jar of chopped ginger as well. One of them has a jar of chopped pesto. But that's it. That's literally... It's in a nice box. It does have what looks like straw kind of being stored in it. So it does have that kind of rustic protection storage. But yeah, that's about all of the gift sets. It does have as well, and for those on the visual can see it, it does have, I think, like a little circular Gilroy Garlic logo, like almost like a tag that you would have on a piece of clothing. When I first saw this, I thought it was lip balm because it looks like a lip balm tin. And I was like, garlic lip balm would be terrible. That'd be the single worst lip balm.
I think hidden under that, it looks like it's made of card, but it's not. It's actually made of plastic, and hidden under that plastic is the ring and chain attached to it, and that's your garlic.
That's your garlic key ring.
My one, though, would be a 3D clove of garlic.
I do like the idea of a 3D clove of garlic.
Who wouldn't want that on their keys,
Do you remember those eggs, those fake eggs you'd have that are like bouncy balls? They used to sell
I've got one knocking about somewhere.
I love those, because you hold it and go, oh no, I've dropped my egg. Not really, it was a ball.
I pranked my mum with it many times.
Yeah, you could do that with the garlic. You could go, oh no, but I suppose garlic's not as fragile.
No, but it probably bruises.
Does it bruise, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. It's probably one of those where if you didn't use it and you dropped it, it might go a bit brown. But if you chop it up straight away, that's essentially bruising it anyway, Speaking of chopping, do you use a garlic crusher, Chris?
No, I find that the washing up of a garlic crusher far outweighs the benefit, because to me, I used to be really bad at cutting garlic. It used to take me ages, because you have to peel the skin, then you have to peel the other skin, and then two things happened. One, the COVID-19 virus happened, and I was living alone, and I started cooking for myself, just kind of to pass time, as like a lot of us did. And one of the things I would do is I would every morning make myself a breakfast of lightly fried garlic and butter with some spinach and kale. And
very nice.
Sometimes I would also have either a boiled or a scrambled egg next to it, which I discovered is a very Eastern European type breakfast. It was wonderful. I still have it to this day. And funnily enough, that would be how I would do it all the time. And just before I get to using a garlic crusher, One of the time I would make that for breakfast every morning, and I used to run a lot. I used to run like 5 or 6 miles a day, sometimes for fun, because I was like that. And when I would do that, one time I went out and I'd had my breakfast, and then I went on my run, and I was running and I ran into my dad. My dad was out walking the dog in my town. And I went up to him and I said, "Oh, hi, Dad, how's it going?" And I gave him a hug. And I'd just done, this would have been after about 5 miles. He was like, "Oh, have you been eating garlic?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You reek of it." And obviously I couldn't tell, but garlic is one of those foods that will come out of you in your sweat.
Yeah.
So that was that was one of the moments I discovered that garlic, you just smell like garlic, and obviously that's one of the stereotypes, isn't it? If you're on a date, it's like, "Oh no, he has garlic breath, he has onion breath."
They say if you're on your first date or what have you, and you eat garlic, make sure you both eat it, both share your garlic, and then you can be garlicky together. Then
exactly.
You can unite in your garlicness. It might be one of the things that you first bond over.
Exactly. But yeah, in terms of using a garlic crusher, if I'm cooking like a load of things en masse, I might use it. The other thing I use, it's like a little rubbery thing, like a little rubbery tube that has like a texture on the inside, and I use that to I'll put like the cloves in, and you kind of press it down and it kind of strips the garlic out of its case, out of its skin case.
Okay, I've not come across that.
It's like a little tubey thing. It is very helpful if I can't be bothered to strip the garlic off, but because I'd done so much cooking over COVID, I got to a point where I could cut garlic and then kind of peel the skin off with the knife and do it quite quickly. And I literally just had this moment where I was like, "I'm Gordon Ramsay now. I'm Gordon Ramsay." And it turns out if you practice something, it will make you better.
Yeah, well, I've got a tip for it as well.
Okay, so before we get to that, I want to know about your opinion on garlic crushers.
Well, should I just pop to the kitchen quickly? It's just over there, and I've got more than one.
You've got more than one garlic crusher?
I feel like the easiest way to explain them would be to show them to you. Okay. We're a video now. We can do this.
You're going to have to
Sorry
explain
if you're listening.
it.
Yeah, we'll explain it too, but it'll be easier to look at it and then we can both describe it, because some of them I was trying to think, how would I describe it? And I thought, well, I'll just go and get it. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be back in about 20 seconds. Just got to hop across the garden and get my garlic crusher.
I'm going to edit it, so you don't need to say.
It's not edited. I'm just really fast.
Oh, okay. Maybe I shouldn't edit it. Maybe I'll just leave this gap in. You can hear just some smash. As David is probably going through his kitchen right now. You can hear a plane outside as well. That's very exciting. There's planes going on in the south of England, like there's not planes going on in the north of England. I don't know what I'm on about. Oh, I can hear David's child.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Right, so the first garlic crusher I bought, and I really, before I bought a garlic crusher, I chopped it by hand, and when we get to the tips, I'll give you tips for doing that, because that's what I did when I used to work as a chef, was chop it by hand, didn't use a crusher. When I grew up at home and was helping Mum cooking, I used a crusher. She had an older version of what I bought for my first crusher, and I thought I would go premium, thinking about what you said about the difficulty of washing and everything, and you get the excess bits that come out the side and everything. And so I got an OXO one. Those of you who know your kitchen brands will know that OXO are quite a premium kitchen brand. And so it's one of these types that you've probably...
It's a metal
classic
one. It's got a flappy bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that bit come off? Oh, no, it doesn't come off.
It stays in it, but you can kind of put it in a dishwasher like that so it can get to all bits or what have you.
Stainless steel.
Yeah, if you're going to put it in the dishwasher, I would recommend just beforehand just getting a brush and just poking it through those holes, because the dishwasher sometimes you'll get bits stay in the holes.
Yeah.
That's the same with the other type of garlic crusher, which I'll show you if everyone's happy they've seen enough of that.
That's good. That is a standard to me metal garlic crusher.
It's a classic.
Yeah, garlic press, sorry, not garlic crusher.
I found, garlic press, although what I am now going to show you looks closer to what I would call a garlic press.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to garlic crusher. And I think it's a newer thing, and it's much, much simpler, much easier to clean.
Okay.
And maybe, Chris, this will change your life if you're not aware of this kind of crusher. And I also noticed recently that my mum has converted to using this crusher. It cost all of about £3 on eBay, and it looks like this. So basically,
it looks like
it's just a handle with the holey bit on the other side of it, and you can roll it because it's curved.
It just looks like the front of a cheese grater with like a handle on the top.
Yeah, and you just crush it like that, and it's real easy. These are great, and they're cheap, and I recommend They're good. Saves a lot of bother.
So yeah, okay. So instead of putting it in like a little square and that little square pushes it, I remember playing with that a lot as a kid.
And
that
it
was
comes
like my
out the
favourite.
sides.
It comes out the sides. You have to kind of scrape it off. Instead, it's just like a little flat thing with holes that you kind of rock over it.
Yeah.
I think they're called rockers from what I've just seen. So, okay, so from what I've read, that is the difference. So one is a garlic press and one is a garlic crusher.
If you search garlic press on the internet, this is probably what will come up these days.
That's a garlic crusher.
Oh, is it? Is that what?
That's a garlic crusher.
Yeah.
So garlic crusher is that second one where it's a thing that you kind of do it.
And they call this a garlic press.
And the garlic press is the thing with the two handles where you kind of
I suppose it's more like a juice press.
Yeah, kind of squeezes it,
squeezes
it through. But yeah, it's a pain in the bum to clean. I actually have
used this last night.
Oh.
This has kind of become obsolete now. This premium OXO.
Yeah, it is. I have I think it's Joseph one, which is like green.
I know the brand.
Yeah, but it's got inside of it a little like thing to kind of scrape out the garlic to push it out. Which is quite
handy. Joseph makes some good products. I think I've got a Joseph toilet brush.
We're not sponsored by Joseph.
We're not. But I think I've got a Joseph silicone toilet brush as well. They obviously branch out into a lot of. I don't know if OXO make sanitary products or toilet cleaning products, do they? But having said that, I have got an OXO squeegee that's in my bathroom. So maybe they do.
OXO squeegee.
Yeah, OXO make all sorts of things.
OXO is in the cube makers. That all I know is OXO from OXO cubes.
They might be the same company. Maybe we should
look looks like the OXO.
That looks like their logo. Yeah, I think it is. I think I've looked it up before.
That make OXO cubes. What am I looking for? An OXO.
Do they also make home products? I guess you call it that. Household kitchen.
OXO homeware, yeah.
Utensils.
So OXO to me, once again, it's one of those, I forgot what it's called, where like a brand has just, that is what the brand is now. It's just like a Hoover.
OXO
you call it a Hoover, but it's not Hoover.
It's
Hoover is just a brand of vacuum cleaner.
So you call stock cubes OXO cubes.
So I call stock cubes OXO cubes.
Yeah,
but if they're cubes, only if they're cubes.
Yeah, because you get pots these days.
Yeah, you get pots or stock, the little stock things. If they're not cube shaped, they are not OXO.
Yeah, I know all the types you're talking about. I use all types.
Yeah, they've got.
Used to make drinks out of OXO cubes when I was younger. I used to love a drink of nicer than you think. It's like drinking gravy. I mean, have you ever had Bovril? Have you ever had Bovril?
I have had Bovril when I was younger.
It's a bit like that.
But that's still gross to me now.
Oh, it's lovely on a cold day at the football.
I also like that you just said. I like that you just said. It's just like drinking gravy. Like that's what people do. Like a cup of gravy. Like, oh, do you want a cup of tea, cup of coffee, cup of gravy? And they're like, oh yeah, I'll have a cup of gravy, please. Would you like onion or beef?
I love gravy.
Is that what you do? Is that an often?
No, I won't drink it on its own. But there's a popular chicken restaurant that served their own gravy, and I have to say it is good gravy. And when in the past, sometimes I've been known to. There's a bit of gravy left at the end of the pot. I'm like, well, I'm having that.
I just like that you were calling Joseph or Joseph all the time, branding them at OXO, all the things. KFC,
they
not even going to mention it.
They don't need our help. KFC are big.
Not even just Joseph and OXO.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're as big as KFC are. But no, you're right. They're
probably quite.
I just thought, I don't know, it just sounded funnier saying popular chicken restaurant because everyone knows immediately what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I went there the other day, funnily enough.
Oh, so
it's a guilty pleasure of mine.
I've got a couple of the things I want to talk through first, but one of the things I want to...
We're running out of time.
We are running out of time.
Yeah.
But one of the things I wanted to talk about, did you know if you rub garlic on your feet, you will taste it in your mouth after 15 minutes?
No.
That is 100% true.
Wow.
And apparently it's because the compounds in garlic will penetrate your skin and enter the bloodstream, which is one of the reasons why when you sweat, you smell the garlic.
But it has to be on your feet. It's not like, because, I've chopped garlic so many times and I don't think I've tasted it in my mouth from it being on my hands.
No, you have to rub it in for a while. I think that's a good point actually. I don't know. You could probably, I can imagine so. Rub on.
I like the fact someone's done this to find out.
Yeah, well, I think it's to show that it penetrates into the bloodstream, which is obviously one of the reasons why it smells. But yeah. So apparently the fact I've always heard, and I just tested it, is rubbing it on your feet, but it causes you to taste garlic in your mouth within an hour. So, because it penetrates the skin and enters the bloodstream. So I imagine it would be no matter where you rub it.
Yeah.
It's just rubbing it on your feet is apparently like it was like an old aromatherapy, old little like old worldy. Oh, if you rub this, you'll taste it. It's magic. This is to show it's working. But it's because it rubs the molecule that makes the garlic smell will go through.
There you go. That keeps the vampires at bay as well.
It does keep the vampires at bay. It is obviously very pervasive. I was going to get to this, but we're running out of time in the episode today. The last thing I wanted to show you very quickly is Garlic World.
Garlic World.
Yeah.
Is that tell me, please, that it's a theme park that you can go to?
I really thought it was going to be a theme park, but looking at it, it looks like it's just... In fact, I found the perfect description of Garlic World on the Garlic World website. Okay, here we go. Garlic World, established in 1986... is a unique combination of fruit stand, gourmet food store, and gift shop. See, combination of fruit stand and gourmet food store. To me, that's to me, a fruit stand is very common in America. They're on just like the side. They're just a nice thing. But no, it's this, but also a giant store.
Yeah.
With everything. And a gift shop. I imagine you could probably get a garlic keyring here. And I'm going to try and find to see if they have a garlic keyring. I'm going to have a look at garlic products.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's have a look merch together to see the garlic merch. Okay.
Garlic clobber.
Let's have a look at the garlic merch. So we've got garlic and braids, We've got pickled garlic.
Ooh, I like pickled things.
Jarred garlic, dried garlic, gourmet olives, oils and dippers. With garlic,
yeah.
Pickled veggies, fruits and nuts, speciality items, and seasonings.
I don't see any merch
I don't see any merch. Speciality items? No, looking at that, that's just garlic mustard, garlic sauce. So maybe, Dave, we've accidentally come into shop now for your favourite garlic products. But my favourite garlic product is a garlic keyring.
Yeah, mine too.
And apparently it's not there.
My second favourite is a garlic hat that's shaped like a garlic clove that sits on top of your head, because I'm actually starting to wonder if that would actually look quite good.
As what, a garlic clove as a hat? Because
it's a sort of shape of hat that I don't know if I've come across.
Maybe that's the mundane. You can almost smell it, can't you? Like the...
And so when I say garlic clove as well, to clarify, I mean a bunch. Or is a clove the individual part?
A clove is an individual part.
Right, I'm talking about a garlic bunch hat. But you could have a garlic clove hat. It'd probably be similar to it, you know, when you get the sideways pirate hat, so they row front to back rather than side to side. It'd be that kind of shape. But I'm talking about a bunch of garlic.
That is so funny. That is literally what I was thinking. The other thing I want to show you very quickly, because we are running out of time, because Dave has a deadline today.
Well, we can run over. We can do another. We can run to half past. That means nothing to the audience.
That means absolutely
to us. To us, it means 6 more minutes.
Yeah. I've just wanted to find on the garlic website. They do have. Okay, you ready for this? I want you to just describe what you see. Okay, when it comes, I want you to describe the image in full. Okay.
Okay, so it's a very scary-looking novelty character of a garlic clove, which there's a couple of children, toddlers probably cuddling it. It's a giant thing. It is looks like it's about 4 feet tall. It's got arms, it's got eyes, a horrible nose and mouth, and it looks terrifying. It's got a weird little nose. It's got like 3 ridges, so it's like, if you imagine garlic, it's got like a face. It's like a little Disney character of garlic. I'd love to go to Garlic World. I don't know about you. The couple of the facts on here that I thought might be quite handy. Garlic has been part of the human diet for more than 9,000 years. Wow.
Archaeological evidence shows that it is used in its sites dating back to 7,000 BCE. The culinary garlic we eat today originated in Central Asia. The word garlic, however, comes from the Anglo-Saxon words gar and lac. Gar meaning spear and lac meaning plant.
I've always thought they look like spears.
When it grows,
they
like
probably
those little
do.
heads.
Yeah.
It does.
I was being silly.
In the United States, National Garlic Day is celebrated every year on April 19th. We were very close. This episode is very close to coming out near to National Garlic Day in America. So if you're in America, remember the 19th of April is National Garlic Day.
If you're listening on National Garlic Day, Happy Garlic Day.
Happy Garlic Day, everybody. So, obviously, vampires and werewolves don't like garlic. To protect yourselves, you're meant to hang garlic cloves.
And other demons.
And other demons, according to this website. And one of the things that I thought would be, maybe it's because we know garlic enters the bloodstream. Maybe people already knew that. So when a vampire goes to like suck at your blood, that's how vampires talk, obviously.
Detective Chris, I think that makes
They're
sense.
like,
Well
bleh,
done.
oh, there's garlic in that. Oh. So therefore, if you eat a lot of garlic, vampires can't touch you.
You're safe. Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to say on Garlic World on the website, my favourite part is on the fun facts list. It's got a couple of other facts, including the world record for garlic consumption was held by Deepak Sharma Burjagain of Nepal, who in December 2009... Nepal, thank you. Nepal. In December 2009, consumed 34 cloves of garlic in 1 minute.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of garlic.
I bet you taste that for a while after.
Yeah, I bet he stunk and tasted that.
Not very popular for some time.
That's so funny. You were thinking about him, that he tastes it, and I'm thinking like about everybody else. It's like, oh, he's going to be a stinky boy. But
what does that say about me?
Yeah, and the other thing was, it says as the final fact on this list, garlic is the best. That's just a fact.
I mean, it is great. I love garlic.
I do love garlic. It is
one of my favourite things, one of my favourite flavours, one of my favourite ingredients. I think I could honestly put garlic in most savoury things.
Most savoury things, I think, do have garlic, yeah.
Every time I follow a recipe and it says 2 cloves of garlic, I'm like, well, I'm going to double up on that. Maybe
that's
even
what I mean.
triple up.
You measure it with your heart.
You do. With your heart. Now I understand with the heart thing, because I was thinking, you mean with your mind, like with what?
No.
But yeah,
like
I know your soul, because food and soul, they're interconnected. They should be anyway. Those of you who are just eating food out of necessity, get that garlic, put more in. Come on, live a little.
The other thing I wanted to tell you about garlic, obviously it's got a lot of antibiotic properties.
It's a superfood, I believe.
Yeah, whatever a superfood means. That's
whatever
just like
it
marketing,
is,
yeah. But another name for garlic in World War II was Russian penicillin.
Was it?
Because during World War II, apparently Soviet medical personnel would use garlic to treat wounds because they didn't have any other, actual penicillin, so they just would use garlic. So can you imagine the smell?
Yeah,
there'd be a lot of smell, the smell of war, decay, dead bodies, people bleed, and then just also like a nice garlicky aroma.
And so, say you got a small wound and you use garlic to heal it, but you're back on the battlefield. Not very camouflage, you like guerrilla warfare.
That's what I
you're
was
up close
thinking.
And personal. That's going to smell when you come in.
You're going to be like out in the woods, like, okay, where are they? And then you're like,
the Russians are coming.
Yeah, you're like, I want some pasta. Wait a minute, no.
Why am I hungry?
Why am I hungry all of a sudden?
Everyone, look sharp.
They've been healing their wounds. They're well healed. You can tell they've had medical attention because they smell like my pasta yesterday. Oh, so there you go. So that is some facts on garlic. So
I love garlic.
I love.
Just want to throw that in there. I love garlic. I think I already said that, but I'm saying it twice because I really do.
So, Dave, you had some tips for garlic.
Here we go.
I'm excited for you to share them.
Yeah. Sorry if you already know this, but this is a podcast and we assume that you know nothing. Just like at the start of the episode, we explain what we're doing because we assume this is the first time you've heard. And so this is the first time you've come across garlic in your life. So tip number 1, right? When you want to get the peel off the garlic, right? Okay. So obviously you're going to chop off the hard kind of rooty end of the garlic. Yeah. I usually do that first. I don't know if that's the correct order, but I do that first. And then this is the secret, right? I learned this as a chef. Get the knife you're chopping it with. Works best if you've got a good knife. It's kind of like got that kind of height of it at the heel of the blade.
What kind of height, Dave? You're going to have to explain this.
Sorry, I forget. I know, say about 4 or 5 centimetres. I forget the type of the knife, but a large knife. Big enough so that you can turn the knife on its side and you put it on the garlic and you crush the garlic in its peel. So you literally crush it so that you can go too far, I find. You want to crush it just the right amount so you can take the peel off in one go. But as soon as you do that, the peel just comes right off. And also it's kind of ready crush, which makes it a bit easier to chop. So the chopping part as well. Now this part is, you've got to be careful, because what you're basically doing is using another ingredient in your dish to enable the chopping easier. So you might have found that sometimes it's difficult to chop garlic because it sticks to the knife and that kind of thing, yeah. So to be honest, I don't know if I've done an A/B to test if this really works, but I was taught this by one of my old head chefs when I worked as a chef, who was very good and really knew his stuff. You put a bit of salt on it, and it helps the knife to grip the garlic, which also helps with getting those smaller bits chopped up even smaller, because it helps it to stop moving as much when you're chopping it. So yeah, crush the garlic to get the peel off with the side of the knife, and then yeah, a bit of salt. But remember that salt is probably then going in your dish, so don't go too mad with it. But also maybe it enhances the garlic in the dish more. I don't know. I don't tend to do the salt thing these days, but to be honest, these days I tend to use this. I think that's all my garlic tips. So really just 2. I made it sound like I had a plethora of tips. A plethora of tips, but I didn't. But that crushing the garlic, if you didn't know that one, that's a game changer. You're no longer will you be like, oh, I'm trying to peel it, and you like break a bit off and you get it under your fingernail. None of that anymore.
It prevents the sticking, basically. It's like the little talc about. The other thing I will say,
just releases the peel from the garlic clove.
And to add to a final tip, so the garlic releases as much of its flavour and that kind of taste is when it is damaged. It's like the more damage that the garlic has been through, the more it releases that flavour. So if you chop it, even if you chop it finely and just chuck it in, it won't release as much garlic flavour as if you crush it and get like those oils reacting. And
which makes sense, because the colour changes, just like when you bruise an apple and it goes a bit brown. And this is what I was kind of alluding to earlier when I said about bruising garlic, and that is it, isn't it? And crush the garlic. I mean, if you do chop it, like when I did chop garlic, I think I chopped it finer than my crusher crushes it, put it that way. I was meticulous with because when I make bolognese, for instance, I chop up everything as small as possible. In fact, these days I actually use a blitzer, but you don't do it constantly. You do it in pulses.
Yeah.
So not to turn it into a paste, because larger surface area, more flavour.
The last thing I want to ask is, what is your opinion on like jars of pre-cut garlic or anything?
I don't want to offend anyone. You know what's coming, don't you?
I do.
I just think it's lazy. And there's a popular brand that I believe is called Lazy that do. Yeah. I think they were kind of the first to hit the mainstream supermarket shelves in the UK. But people are busy. But I think if you get one of these and you learn about the tip of crushing garlic with the side of a knife, you'll save a load of money and your garlic will be fresher. And I don't think it takes that much time when you know those tips. That's
once again, obviously there are other reasons people may use crushed garlic if you don't have the time.
I'm not going to judge.
Or the thing, we're not going to judge. But if you do have the opportunity or the chance to, I do recommend it. It only took me like a week of just doing garlic every other day. You do get a lot faster with it. I've never tried salt with it though. I'm going to take your tip, Dave, and use the salt with that. We don't ever want to put any shade on anyone who, there may be other reasons why they can't use it. But if you can, I do recommend cutting your own garlic, because I do find there's a lot more flavour in it. It tastes a lot better. You have to use a lot more of that stuff. I just want to advise, if you can, there is a real it does make you feel like a chef. Even if, like
just
I said,
once, as a treat.
Yeah, because once again, that was the start of my, I hate this term, cooking journey. The start of my cooking journey was being able to cut garlic, because all I would do is cut garlic, bit of butter, some spinach, some kale, mix it all up, tasted glorious. A little bit of salt. That was it. That was all I needed. And that started me on feeling more confident to cook. Because I think that's the thing. There's a lot of confidence needed to cook. So I suppose as a final thing, just remember, garlic can't hurt you unless you're a vampire.
Yeah.
And it is a bit of a faff. But once you get it, it is quite easy to prepare, and it is one of the easiest ways to kind of transition into getting used to preparing your own food. I highly, highly recommend it. I believe in you. I believe in you, those listening.
Always be safe using sharp knives.
Yeah, let's put that in there as well.
Make sure your knife is sharp, because a blunt knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife.
Yes, that is
Safety
true.
first.
Yeah, it does. Do you know, it's so satisfying on that. We should do, well, I don't know if we could do knives one day, because knives aren't that mundane. They're very exciting things.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it might be too exciting.
Yeah, maybe one day. Well, I just that everybody, have some fun with some garlic.
Yeah, experiment a bit.
And I believe in you.
Mm.
And
so do I.
on that note, I just want to say to the people at home that I love you.
I love you.
And I love you, Dave.
I love you too, Chris.
And on that, let's say goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
It's the Mundane Podcast.